Alright, greetings, guys. So, I just want to talk about loneliness, right? Or loneliness, solitude, or being alone. I just want to talk about the kind of stigma around being lonely, or being alone, or solitude. I've seen loads and loads of videos, especially from men, all types of men, rich men, poor men, but usually working class males. Talking about loneliness and not being able to find a woman or not having that many friends. So I just wanted to offer up my perspective quickly and my own experiences with that. So really, from when I was young, I was always kind of a loner. I didn't have loads of friends, and to be perfectly honest, I don't think most people have that many friends. If you're talking about a real genuine connection with someone, I think the term friend is thrown about quite loosely, and I think the more appropriate term will be acquaintances. And really, if you really want to go there, I think it's more just people that we talk to. Just because you talk to someone doesn't necessarily mean they're your friend. The Bible says, a friend stick closer than a brother. Iron sharpens iron. Just so a friend sharpens the countenance of his friend. So, for instance, if you have something in your eye, your friend will say, "Bro, you got something in your eye. You need to get that. You need to get that sleep out your eye." That kind of thing. Anyway, I digress. So when I was younger, I always was kind of a loner, and I kind of would just stick to myself, and I preferred being alone. The older I've gotten, and the more life experience I've got, I've kind of come to the conclusion that most people, especially females, but most people don't enjoy being alone. They like to be around other people, and this is kind of the whole introvert-extrovert kind of thing, but I'm not going to be talking about that in this video. Even though I would say I'm more introverted, I've come to the fact that I think men, and this is just the intrinsic difference between men and women, and there are so many, but this is one of them that I've come to the conclusion through experiences and just seeing things in my however many years on the planet. I'm not going to say my age, but however many years on the planet. I think men do tend to have a better time dwelling alone than women do. Women seem to, always want to talking to their friends, or want to be talking to their friends, or talking to someone, which, again, that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying this in a bad way. I'm just noting a difference between males and females, at least in my experience. So, yeah, I would say I'm someone that more prefers to be alone. And I just want to quickly talk about the negatives and positives. I would say being alone is good because it gives me time to think. It gives me time to think about my next move, reflect on life, experiences, things I've done, things I didn't do, things I should have done, things I shouldn't have done. And in that sense, it gives me time to grow. It also gives me time to work on things I need to work on. Like just life stuff. This is not talking about the inner work. This is more just talking about other, let's just say, creative endeavors that I have. But the negatives of being alone, not just the obvious one that you're alone and nobody's there, and because I don't really struggle with loneliness that much. But the negatives of being alone is it's more, not necessarily it's going to alienate you from people, but you're going to have a harder time, at least in my experience, a harder time to interact with people, just in general. What's the word I can describe to you? Is it general? I would say light-hearted or general social interactions. So, at least in my experience, I'm not the most sociable person. So being alone does have its drawbacks. So you kind of have to practice that it's a skill everyone needs to work on, and some people are just naturally social, naturally gregarious, I would say, and talkative and extroverted, and some people just aren't. I don't think I am one of those people. I'm pretty quiet for the most part. I'm pretty quiet for the most part, so I do struggle, I suppose, forming a deep connection with people, but that isn't... It's good and bad. It's good and bad. I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't want to form a deep connection with someone, particularly someone of the opposite gender, a female. I'm a heterosexual man, but it also brings its positives as well, in the sense that I'm pretty comfortable in my own skin, comfortable by dwelling by myself. So that was just a quick video. I probably will be making another video in the follow-up to this. Thank you for listening. Peace.